12 seconds later.
Oh shit, it's a white guy!
Good morning, afternoon, evening to all. My name's the Casual Capybara, and welcome back to another Casual Capybara critique. So, a little less than a year ago, I reviewed the original Yooka-Laylee, explaining how, in my eyes, it was a game that was short of being less than a stellar spiritual successor to the original Banjo-Kazooie. I didn't think it was bad, but at the same time, it wasn't one or two issues that kept it down, but rather it was a long list of small issues that aren't addressed that brought down the overall experience. But if you saw my top 10 games of 2025, which I highly doubt considering the analytics, you'd know that the remake, Yooka-Replaylee, made it to number 4 on the list. So I'm going to explain here how I think Yooka-Replaylee, redeems the original Yooka-Laylee. So let's begin. At the start of Yooka-Replaylee, we're introduced to the titular duo, with an all-new opening from the original that better explains how our dynamic bat lizard duo ended up in the shipwrecked creek. Also, the remake changes the story slightly where Yooka and Laylee find the Grand Tome, a powerful book which contains the signature pages, was kidnapped by Capital B and Dr. Quack. So after Quack's book-stealing device starts to suck up the Grand Tome, it scatters the pages across the game to keep its powers from falling into Capital B's hands, and this sets the game in motion to begin the quest to recover the pages. So moving on to the bulk of the review, which is the gameplay, it has been vastly improved. For one, you get most of Yooka-Laylee's moveset right off the bat after completing the tutorial, and everything else is turned into temporary power-ups found in the levels for specific collectibles. This fixes the backtracking issue the original game suffered from. Trouser still appears to sell you stuff, but it's upgrades that originally you had to hunt down for in each level, which in my eyes was kind of a chore, so I like that. And also he's right at the start of levels along with Vendy, instead of having to search the entire levels for him. Speaking of which, the levels are mostly the same but with some major changes. First of all, the addition of a map and a new character, Mark, who works as a fast travel point, which I did not know I needed in the original game. And now also there's a list that keeps track of your collection progress, not just with pages but also with quills, skulls, pagey peaches, etc., etc. I'm glazing over a lot here, but if you want a thorough, boring list of the changes, go somewhere else. I speak the bottom line and that's all I care about. And bottom line, it's vastly improved. What else is improved? Oh yeah, instead of using pages to expand worlds, the worlds are already expanded. Instead you use pages to pay pagey portals, like a toll booth. This also gets rid of those pointless trivia minigames the original had.
Thank God!
Another point I want to bring up is Rextro. In the original Yooka-Laylee, his minigames were kind of these weird asset reusing minigames with just strange setups, and honestly I wasn't a big fan of them. In the remake, that's completely changed. Instead, these minigames are completely new, and these minigames are almost their own game entirely. It's kind of like the Captain Toad levels in Super Mario 3D World, and also in that vein, I'd honestly play a whole spin-off game in this style. So, well, unfortunately for everything this game fixes, there are still a few issues. Ironically, most of them unique to the remake. For one, from what I've seen, there's no reward, not even a little thank you note for 100%ing the game. And speaking of which, the pagey pieces, not to be confused with the torn pages, even though I'm sure they were called the pagey pieces in the original, were a new addition, and I hated them. Without fail, I'd always struggle to find the last one, and I had to look up a walkthrough to find them. Apart from that, most issues I had were technical bugs. This NPC glitched out and duplicated, the Galleon Galaxy World boss soft-locked
twice,
and the game randomly crashed a couple of times while I was playing. Thankfully, due to autosave, I was fine, but still, that was really discouraging. Considering I waited a few extra months for my physical copy, random crashes like that should have been something got taken care of already. But hey, it's been a few months since I've played, and maybe it has. I don't know, honestly, I'm too lazy to check. But despite my issues, I still loved Yooka-Replaylee. It's a remake that not just fixes, but surpasses the original with flying colors. So if you were turned off when the original was met with mixed reviews, I'd give the remake a shot if I were you. You won't be disappointed. So with that, what's your closure, Rachel and Mandrake?
Maybe this remake will be the kick Yooka-Laylee need to blossom into the full-fledged franchise it wants to be.
Yeah, right. Like that's ever gonna happen? What a load of...
With that, I am the Casual Capybara, and thank you for watching.